During the civil rights era, the Reverend Jesse Jackson marched side by side with Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. He was just a young man then, but grew into a national leader. Our CNN Student Bureau caught up with Jackson in Houston, Texas, where he discussed a long journey for equality.
The Reverend Jesse Jackson is no stranger when it comes to fighting for people's rights. The civil rights activist who is working on abolishing social classes and color lines says that so much of his leadership and knowledge about issues of social justice came from the pattern set by the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
Well, I was overwhelmed in his presence. He was such a dynamic man, and yet such an humble man. And as I worked with him in the South, I got to know him much better, and his true commitment to all people.
During the 1960s, Dr. King and Jackson, along with the other members of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, took over the South with countless sit-ins, boycotts, and marches. Thinking back on the matter, Mr. Jackson says they had no choice but to fight.
The purpose was to fight for basic civil rights. At that time, African American and Hispanics could not use a public toilet downtown. I was arrested trying to use a public library in 1960. We could not use the movie theater. We couldn't sit in the public park. So we fought to change those laws.
As Reverend Jackson works hard towards peace and justice for all, he continues to carry on the legacy of one of America's greats.
Now is the time to rise from the dark and desolate valley of
Yvette Johnson, CNN Student Bureau, Houston, Texas.